Is it working? Am I officially live? Can you hear me okay? So, yeah, this is a. Hold on one second. I'm getting feedback from my. There we go. Um, this is a really sad day for America, and this is not how I wanted to do my first live over here at the Roll the Bones. But I'm happy that I could do this surrounded by my friends and my family. You know, I want to give a special shout out to Rev, Governor Trev, uh, Amy. Um, but let's just get right into this. Uh, Charlie Kirk was an absolute, patriot for this country. Was murdered today, doing what he exercising his right to free speech. There was probably not a single person that I can think of, the very few people that I could think of actually, that have given more for this country um, than Charlie Kirk. And Charlie Kirk actually gave all of it, including his life. How did we get here to where you can't even speak your mind? Now you have to what? You're going to you got to fear a bullet. I know there's not enough information out there about who the shooter and what the motivations were, but I'm just going to play the odds. I think we know. And it gets me worried for friends of mine too. I have a lot of friends that they shake they shake that hornet's nest all the time. And now with Charlie, it shows that what anytime you get out of line, there's a potential bullet for you. This is a really dark day for America, and it hasn't been something this dark since 9/11, which conveniently the day before. And I saw Trev's comment, and I 100% agree that Charlie Kirk was on the fast track to be probably one of the greatest U.S. presidents of our lifetime. He certainly would have been given the right opportunity, and I think we would have seen him there. Um, but it gets me really concerned how this plays. And I implore anybody on I'm a right leaning guy. I implore anybody, don't engage in violence. Don't. That's what they want. Let's not do this untouchables thing, the tit for tat. Oh, you took one of ours, let's go get one of yours. Let's not play that game, because the only thing that suffers is America in a whole. And that's not what Charlie wanted, and we can't be that nation. We just can't. I mean it. But it's I'm just laughing at one of the comments, but yeah, right is right. But no, like it gets me scared for friends of mine. On top of it, Jason, I see a lot of my One Light family here. It gets me scared for JD Delay and the Wood Chipper tribe, because these are guys that are out there. They're bucking that system, bro. It gets me scared for my family and my friends. It really does. And something just so simple as a guy just going to just debate people at a college, and you get murdered. And I just keep playing it back in my head that he was killed in front of his wife and his kids viciously. They woke up that day, happy as can be, and his wife walked out of there a widow. All because he says some shit that hurts some people's feelings. Well, here's the reality: is facts hurt feelings. They're not there to make you feel good. They're not there to make you tuck you in at night. And I am so tired of. I'm just going to play the odds. The tolerant left. I am so tired of hearing this nonsensical shit. I've seen how they react over freaking Mrs. Butterworth or Aunt Jemima on a box. I've seen how you react. It's every fucking thing is a temper tantrum with these people. And it's like, oh, God forbid, somebody like Buck Angel or Jason, they go out and they say some shit to protect kids. You know, and that's a fucking problem. You have somebody like Charlie Kirk pointing out all the fucking devious shit, and he cost him his life. Multiple assassination attempts on the president. How many cities have been set on fire? And what? That's what they're gonna come back. I already know. It's like January 6th, blah blah blah. That's all you're gonna come back with. Is that all you got? An overly aggressive tour of the Capitol building. Okay, yeah, it's not really the death of democracy. But we can't allow this country to get like this. We can't go any further and allow this, and we cannot let Charlie just die in vain. Um, I mean, he built Turning Point, dude. Like that's 31 years old. He's still, he's a kid. He proved to everybody, that you don't need a 4-year college degree and 800,000 in debt to be successful. He challenged people to go outside of their go against the comfort and go against their way of thinking. He's interviewed some of the biggest names. He like sit down with Buck Angel, legendary. Sit down with Gavin Newsom. I mean, he basically exposed Gavin for the fraud that we all knew he was, anyways. But it's just what a dark day for this country. But keep his family in your prayers. Those young kids that are actually, I can't imagine what they're going through. And yeah, I've sent, I've seen the video. That rough, brutal. Like that one, and trust me, if you follow this channel, I delve in some dark shit. I talk with some of the worst. I've talked with serial killers. I've talked with guys that have committed multiple murders. And I've seen everything you can imagine. This one affected me in a bad way. And and Amy's correct. We need to make sure that our kids cannot see this video. It's not something good. So I'm kind of building this plane while I'm flying. This is the first live, not exactly how I want to do it. Me and Amy have some great plans that we are going to put into effect over time. But this situation couldn't go untalked about. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, all right. See, Chrissy Mendez, good to see you, love. I'm glad you're back on the mend and you're you're doing good. But yeah, 100%. You had the Ukrainian woman in South Carolina. Let's figure out this. Just go back to the start of this year. We had a bombing at Trump Tower with the Cybertruck explosion, and we had another. It was like a Ford F-150 that flew down Bourbon Street and killed a couple people. The trans mass shooter. Actually, there's been multiple mass shootings. The blatant and vicious assaults on our ICE agents for deporting criminals. When did it become the popular thing to do to protect fentanyl dealers, child predators, and all kinds of shit? When did that become a popular thing? It blows me away. What's that? Men like him help teach, and even young and even older people. It's okay to dislike and completely disagree, but we need to be able. 100% agreed, bro. Like we do need to be able to have a conversation without guns coming out and people dying and it's like vast the woke leftist side. They think they woke up. They're very much asleep. They're still trapped in the delusional matrix of whatever they're going through. And I think that Charlie was a good example. Like Rev said, I think Charlie was a very good example of opening the door, bridging the gaps, bringing people to the table, being respectful about it. Not, he wasn't abusing anybody. I mean, a lot of the people. I mean, hell, this morning. I mean, I'll just be honest with you. I've been diligently working for the last I'd say month, 2 months to get Charlie on the show. I was talking to Trev this morning about it. And I was all excited to get it to a certain point. And Charlie's somebody I've looked up to for a long time. He's one of the reasons I do what I do. But and then to have this come back, and I was like, I realized that I gotta maybe stop emailing people because they get killed afterwards. Um, Sabu was supposed to be on the show a while back, and he passed away. I even sent an email to Hulk Hogan, so that might have been my fault. Um, but yeah, it's and yeah, right. And Trev was about to go and see this man, and we got to keep this. We got to keep his legacy alive, and that's exactly what Charlie would want. I mean, they could be. I mean, he was basically responsible. He did a lot of work getting Trump elected. Boots on the ground in some of the worst. He went into some of the um, bluest counties in the country. Colleges, Berkeley. He'd go set up anywhere. And I mean, look at that one time he went. There, Riley Gaines went to a place they had to have her in lockdown. That's the tolerant left. They don't want you. They sit there and they preach and scream free speech, but they don't believe it. Free speech in their world only applies to them. Um, but yeah, free speech only applies in their eyes. A prime example, like this whole situation, I know it's going to be a little sensitive to some people, and I have my opinions on it. But the Epstein files, I mean, do I agree with them not being released? No, but I also believe in what Victor Max had said about if you just put all that information out there, what really happens is society will burn down the top of the tower. It'll be complete chaos, and there'll be a lot of needless death in the streets. That's a fact. But you know what? The thing is, they scream and they rant and rave. Oh, there's a picture with Trump and Epstein, and if they had definitive proof that Donald Trump was a child molester in X, Y, and Z, the Democrats would have released a completely redacted list, and it would have been so redacted that the only name you would have seen on there would have been Trump. But again, selective outrage. You never hear them talk about Bill Clinton or Bill Gates or the litany of people that were in the government on the left. Hillary Clinton was on there, and we all had to scream, and we had to listen to you scream and yell about how Trump stole that election. I'm at a point now, so I'm kind of like going, my head's kind of spinning right now because this Charlie's death, to me, I am so tired of and fatigued from all the bullshit, all the fucking death, all the fucking chaos, all the people that have been, all the cities burnt to the ground, the violence. How many people got murdered during, the Floyd summer riots? How many people lost everything that they own? They're already suffering because of COVID, but we'll take it one step further and just burn the country to the ground. And what do you call it? I'm a little bit hung up. Who's in New Zealand now? I think like I'm just at a point where I'm so tired of every time something doesn't go their way, there's some kind of violent reaction, and then it turns around. I already to all the sick people that are out there celebrating, making these stupid fucking videos, celebrating this man's death. What's wrong with you? The fuck is wrong with you? You're gonna go out there and you're gonna preach and celebrate the vicious and public murder of somebody? Check your own shit before you come around in preaching about from your moral high ground. What type of sick freaking individual? And one of them I watched is a kindergarten teacher out there making TikToks, parading around, and don't worry, I have a special reel coming for you soon. But this is the kind of person we want teaching our kids. This is the type of person you want around your children. Somebody that's going to go on their off time. Didn't look like it because it looked like a classroom in the background, but you're going to parade around celebrating and clapping that somebody who doesn't agree with you had their freaking head blown off. What demented fucking people we in this world. It's like I feel like, you know what, there was a few weeks ago in one of Jason's lives, I think somebody had super chatted a comment that we're already in hell. I kind of believe it. I really do. I never believed more in the possibility that we're already there until now. What a fucking sick class of individual that goes out and celebrates murder. Like it's all this is out of control. But you know, now this is a conversation where we need to start building towards something better. We have no choice. Otherwise, this will devolve into, you know, I think that Charlie's death is I will blame. Let me tell you something. Another wonderful secret. I'm gonna let you in on a secret. Um, I think that the violent rhetoric that the left perpetuates on a daily basis, and there are video montages of it, so don't deny it. I highly doubt a Republican went out and shot Charlie Kirk, for one. Yeah, his classmates talked about how conservative the guy up in Butler was, right? Even though he was the guy you're referring to was on a litany of, you know, conservative or left wing radicalized web pages. Please spare me the it's only, I forgot, it's only conservatives is a fountain of evil, right? It's like I forgot how wonderful California's doing as they're peeling bodies off the fucking ground from fentanyl. They're allowing child predators to basically keep lowering the age of consent. You know, the poverty crisis, you know, the Democratic Party, I know you all just, you stand behind your virtue signaling and your ridiculousness. And I agree. We will learn more about that suspect. But let me tell you something. The reaction of the fucking tolerant left in comparison to, you know, with all of the violent rhetoric, you know, having people constantly sit there and talk about how, oh, we're a threat to democracy. We're a threat to democracy. You guys were voter blocking people. How back it's crazy because back in 2016, actually up until now, you put a Trump sticker on your car, oh, you get your car destroyed. It's crazy. How many? It's like the liberal hypocrisy, bro, and the double standard. It's out of control. Look at you over here talking about, oh yeah, people that, you know, who don't like firearms. Yeah, we're gonna blame the gun, and I agree with what Trev said. It's like, so, you know, we should ban cars because drunk drivers kill people because it's the car's fault, not the fucking driver, right? It's never the operator. It's always the machine. Nobody, the gun, I mean, unless you're some delusional psychopath that thinks you're a fox or a, you know, or something else, you know, that you could turn into a puff of smoke, because there are them people. Maybe the gun did tell you in a mental break to buy me and, you know, take me out of the box. And maybe it did say the words to you. But it's the mentally unstable that fired a gun and hurt innocent people, bro. It like, speak logical. Enough of this, you know, oh, you know, we can't look at mental health. We need to look at we need to get rid of the guns. Spare me, bro. Doesn't change that Charlie's dead, and doesn't change that you all fucking suck, like the Democrats. And I feel bad because there are moderate. If it was a moderate Democrat, talk to you all day, but I can't. Because you guys, like the moderates, they don't come out anymore because they're just so overshadowed, and a lot of them move to the center. It's all the insanity of the fucking left, bro. And I know I'm ranting and raving, but I'm tired of this shit. You know, a good, you know, law-abiding, God-fearing American gets murdered, and for what? To further some, you know, so what? You know, because he said some shit you don't like, or to further some degenerate ass bullshit. Like, please. Governor Trev, they're the ones who say that we're extreme and we're violent. Yeah, look how many fucking Democrats have had attempted assassination attempts recently over this year. Yeah, you're right. Well, we can't forget, Trev. We can't forget about that. We can't forget about the that fake assault thing with Nancy Pelosi's husband when they came down for some reason during the assault. They both took their pants off. That was a little strange. Um, come on. I mean, I just can't. I can't deal with this crap no more. It's like, so this is my declaration of intent. You know, I implore everybody to go back, listen to what John Alight had to say when he was on the show. You know, how like, there was these liberal policies that allowed our borders to get destroyed, flooded in. Lincoln Riley murdered. How many other kids were viciously assaulted and murdered because of their policies? How many kids are out, like literally living, their family are living out of a single car or in Skid Row in California because they can't afford to live and they can't afford to move? It's like, and those kids in a freaking tent community, it exposes them to animals, child predators, drugs, everything wrong with the world, transients, crazies. But that's not worth it. I shouldn't have to, like, there was a whole thing with my kids with with the light up shoes. We couldn't buy them shoes that lit up because they might be a freaking target of a shooter. Like, this wasn't a problem when I was a kid. And trust me, I was in middle school when Columbine happened. We had shit that went sideways. I grew up in the 90s. We had Oklahoma City bombing. We had 9/11. We had countless terrible things that happened, but it never stopped people from treating each other with respect and humility, despite political difference or other things. This is something else. This is something else entirely. Where'd he go? Did we ban him, or did he just run away and disappear? He came in, dropped a comment, and hit the road. What happened here? I was kind of hoping he was going to say. I was kind of hoping he was going to play for a while. Oh, another wonderful secret. I guess he left. It's too bad. So I want to hear your thoughts. Like, what would you do? How do we begin the conversation, like, between each other? That's the most important thing, is consider it in yourself. John, are you my son's friend? Just to clarify. Jules Guitar, good to see you, love. Because John, if you're my son's friend, then we're really not talking about kids stuff. But however, educate yourself, and you're amongst friends and you're amongst family over here. But I fear for our kids all the time. This is why I believe in so much. I believe in what Jason has to say with every part of me. I believe in what that man stands for. And I believe, and it doesn't just, the house that Jason built, it goes so much farther. It's this community. Trev, Amy, Michelle, Rev, Chrissy, like all these people inside of this community. Like, I firmly believe that Jason Vukovic and that community, we're the beginning of the next. This is the beginning of the next chapter of society, bro. It's where the conversation begins, and it's where business gets handled. And yeah, I mean, that's a damn fucking fact. Yeah, Jules, this was kind of a spur of the moment live. I wasn't supposed to start doing these for another like week or so, but in the wake of Charlie, I kind of needed to be amongst a bunch of friends and all that stuff. Yeah, John, there's definitely some gruesome stuff in here. Been friends since 6th grade, homie. You're only in 8th grade, but you should watch yourself on the internet, bro. I'm telling you, man. But yeah, no, like this, the tolerant, the tolerant left. I've been following all kinds of reports over the last few hours, and you can only take so much. And trust me, it's like I never like. I mean, I thought at this point I'd be completely unshook but stuff. But even everybody I know knows that there's something bad that's going to come from this more than what's already happened. Um, I firmly believe that something worse is going to come from this. I talk with my brother and with Anthony Arlotta. We talked earlier, and he agrees. This is not a good. This is we're all paying attention, and you know, but be sure. Oh yeah, be sure to check out. And me and Anthony Arlotta working on a project. We're getting his channel up and running. Money Mayhem and the Mafia. That shit's gonna be. It's gonna be great. We got some great stuff already in store. Um. Yeah, this community is great, Vaz. It's good to see you, man. I appreciate your support. I'm just not saying your name, homie. um, but yeah, no, Trev, you're right. To murder a man in front of his family, bro. Um, yeah, bro, I can't even. I want everybody. Yeah, you. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm just not saying your name, brother, but I see you. I love that you're here. But yeah, man, I can't. I really hope that just keep everybody. I beg you, just keep that family in your prayers, bro. Like, those young kids, they lost their father today. They woke up happy and his wife walked out a widow. Um, what's crazy is like I had a bunch of stuff. I was talking to Amy on the phone before this. I knew exactly what I wanted to say, and then my mind just kind of went blank. I don't know how Jay does this every week, twice a week. um, but yeah, we really got to figure out, and I think we really got to figure out how to make sure um, that this doesn't spiral. And we need to kind of keep things simple. We got to go back, and it starts inside of your own communities. It doesn't, we can't just go and take over the country and change everything that way. It starts in small pockets, and we just need people, with a level of commitment to you know, that are willing to get dirty and get into the dirt and grime, and it starts inside your local communities. Um, but if we do not bite this in the ass, Charlie will not be the last. And what my concern is that extremists right are going to start, they're going to start firing back. Because I mean, like, crazy supersedes all political party and religious affiliation. That's just reality. Um, and sometimes lunatics just need something justifiable to make that move. And we don't need this to spiral into something where they think they're justified in hitting the other side. But this moves us, in my personal opinion, I believe this moves us one step. Like, we are at the line of civil war, and we've been there for a long time. And I just hope this doesn't push us over. Love you too, Vaz. And that's the thing. It's like, this is why it's important when tragedies like this happen, we have to be able to default back to our um um you're putting together, there's a protest, where at and when, and what are they protesting? Because it's supposed to be from Chris, you have to tell me that story. What's going on about a 14-year-old that murdered somebody? Maybe which case is that? Please. I definitely read that as you were going to be wearing a baklava. So I was a little bit puzzled for a second. I was like, "It's not a Italian dessert." um, but yeah, let me Trev send me all that stuff about any if there's a protest going on. We'll definitely cover that. And is it like it's a place that um are people protesting on behalf of you know of Charlie? Because I definitely be curious. Um, man, that's freaking wild though. Yeah, yeah, bro. Like, be safe, and I mean, if we could figure it out, if you need me, I'll fly out there with you. I will be wearing baklava though. Yeah, Trev, let me know, and we'll figure this out. If you need to get some heat behind that, no, like this starts here. Um, yeah, this starts here, and we're gonna figure out this whole thing, and we'll get like I'll help you put some steam behind that stuff for sure. Um, because that's yeah, he deserves, South Carolina, and I forget his last name. He says, see, yeah, Chris, these are really um that I hate those situations. It reminds me. Remember a couple years back, there was those young girls that with the Slender Man thing, and they stabbed up their friend in the woods. And at what point, um, you know, this is why we need to stop hammering these kids and allow them to be children instead of force feeding them adult concepts. As otherwise, these youngsters, they're just going to keep on. They're going to be. They're going to be by the time they're adults, they're going to be completely insane. Um, because I'm a fucking grown ass man and I have a hard time, coming to terms with some of the crazy shit that goes on in this world. Never mind trying to put that crap on an 11-year-old, you know, more than ever. I'm getting involved in some of the watchdog programs, the ones that, they go online, they try to track, child predators. I'm getting more and more involved with them. But more these like they need people, and if you got the stomach for it, volunteer at that shit. Get involved because the industries that need people in there are the drug rehabilitation things, the ones that actually want to help people. um Psychologists in the mental health field, we need people, and we need people that are willing to go in there to help smoke these monsters out. um because we have to do more into protecting these kids. And yeah, this whole thing started about Charlie Kirk, and it's going to end with it's going to remain all about Charlie Kirk. But Charlie did a ton of shit to protect kids, and that's the facts. But everybody needs to put up or shut up and start getting involved in handling business. I know the Governor Trev, he knows how to handle it. Everybody in this community, they stand up and represent it, protect kids all the time. And now we need to further that message. You take what you like, and just start building your own crews and building your own things, and start helping people in the community. Because I want to see this country get back to you. If you remember with the start of COVID, that's the the most positive I had ever seen this country in years. People helping each other, completely bipartisan on a lot of things. Elderly people trapped inside, and people are bringing them food, trying to make the best out of everything. And I mean, in a fucked up way, I did kind of like it because I got to hang out with the kids and and this and that, and do family related stuff, and it was fun. But um, yeah, I mean, no, Chrissy, you're 100% correct. I mean, the extreme level of darkness in there, Gooch. Now, this man right here, you go over and subscribe to Gucci Boomer. This is probably one of the best. He's on my Mount Rushmore of advocates people speaking truth to power. Um, Gooch is the best, 100%. But get over there and subscribe over that Gucci Boomer. He's the guy's the fucking man. He'll hit you with some of that gospel general. But yeah, man, like Charlie Kirk didn't have to bite it like this, Gooch. That's what we're talking about. He getting taken down like that in front of his family just to get you up to speed on what we're talking about here. Oh, John's got something. We're learning about genders in history class. What the fuck does that got to do with history? Yeah, no offense, but you inspired me, Gooch, to go live. John, I don't know what to say about. I'll ask my son about it later. I don't know what genders in history class has to do with anything. I could promise you, Abraham Lincoln was a man. At least I think. But yeah, it's it's crazy, man. The world we that I'm like hung up. I'm like, my brain is caught because now I'm figuring, like, I'm trying to figure out, like, what the fuck is genders got to do with a history class. Like, I probably here, like, you know what, man, is it in relation to something? Are they talking about like what, like genders in World War II? Fuck all that. Go watch World War II in HD and you'll thank me later. Here, let me see. Amy, could you share Gooch's link for me? This is this is the first live I've ever done. I did an Instagram one, but it was a giveaway and I was talking to somebody. So it helped, but it's crazy that to be honest, yeah, all two of them. Yeah, listen. Yeah, fuck all that noise, John. Connor will tell you. I believe this. Listen, I personally don't subscribe to none of that crazy shit. I believe at a base level, people, if you're not hurting nobody, you're not hurting yourself, you're not, sexualizing kids or doing some devious shit, live your life in peace and happiness. I will treat you with respect, whether I agree with you or not, politically, or or vice versa. I don't force feed religious viewpoints on people. I don't well, now I do force feed my political viewpoints on you, but I really, like, I don't subscribe to the 800 genders thing, because I'd really, and you know what, Charlie Kirk would appreciate this one. Your sexual fetish is not your gender. John, you might want to take a check out, because I don't know if I quite feel comfortable with you in here and me having this conversation. But what it boils down to is your sexual fetish is not your gender. You like walking a tight line in which way? What are you talking about, Kayla? Well, you know what? It's common sense. John, I have good history stuff that's, viable, like, the good things that you can learn from. Like, I never, like, I'm getting pissed off just knowing about this. I guarantee you talk to anybody in this chat, because, we're all old over here. Not one of us, listen, you think Connor's going to tolerate that bullshit? The kid loves history, especially, I mean, like, he's interested in understanding conflict and war. He's not, oh yeah, I love war. He's just interested in the mechanical parts, which I told him is politics. Um, yeah, so I'd be pissed off too if I wanted to learn the inner workings of like why World War II happened or the American Civil War, which maybe they should be teaching y'all because we walking on the line of the sequel. We are on the verge of civil war again. It's just getting that's how getting crazy. It's getting crazy out there. No, well, Kill. All right, right. Like the difference is here. Like the thing. This is why Buck Angel is so important. Is because Buck speaks the truth. Buck does not tolerate anybody going after young kids with this fucking trans rhetoric. You have I know it's like, you know what? I'm actually saying this in hopes that this asshole sees it and gets mad about it. But Jeffrey Marsh, have you ever seen this guy with that crooked ass Joker smile? He did all them fucking videos about like, oh, this one's only for the kids and the parents got to leave the room. Fuck out of here. The guy's a freak. He's a freaking weirdo. He's 100% a fucking child predator. And I'm sorry, but I'm not calling you miss. I'm not calling you ma'am. You put lipstick on, you got a 5 o'clock shadow. So if by using that logic, if I put lipstick on and some fucking eyeshadow, does that make me a ma'am? No, it doesn't. Look at me. I have a fucking dark ass, big ass beard. Like, I see my head is spinning because the world is just so fucking crazy right now. It's just insane. Yeah, they're brother ladies. They are literally brother ladies. You see, back when, Amy, when we were kids, if the teacher felt the need to tell the class about who they were sleeping with, they went to fucking jail. Now, that's part of the learning, like the syllabus or whatever the fuck they have for the year. Now, Shims, you know what? Shims kind of went out of style, bro. I feel like Shims kind of went away. Yeah, bro. My son definitely loves Civil War and World War II and all that stuff. And now I don't I don't sit down with Connor and tell him to abuse people. I tell him to treat people with respect. And I mean, if they're idiots, just walk away because you can't fix stupid. It's, you're not, yeah, Buck Angel's amazing. I've been very fortunate. I've talked with Buck a little bit back and forth. We're going to have him on the show, hopefully at some point. Me and him, like our schedules have been going back and forth. But yeah, Buck is somebody I absolutely respect and adore. Like, look him up, Vaz. Buck Angel, man. That dude, like, he's pretty good. No, Chrissy, I 100% believe that this stuff is being forced down kids' throats. Not in every corner of the world, but in too many pockets of it. Yeah, but see, all right, you're a tomboy. So was my wife. So if you were in today's world, they would tell you were a man because you were interested, in just getting into whatever. So they're basically what the trans logic is basically they say they're part of the LGBT 5, 6, 7, 8 fucking whatever other monikers you want to put in there. But what they're actually doing is they're trying to kill the gay and lesbian community. They're ousting them, saying that nobody's really gay or lesbian. You're just man or woman. Which it's like I can't try to go into that. Because my it's like a rabbit hole. Like it's like I feel like I'm falling down a flight of stairs and hitting my head on every step on the way down because that's how mind-numbing it is. But that's my personal opinion. Now, Jewel, you're right. Like he speaks against transitioning children. But he also calls out, he'll call out stuff like, what's the point of having, like, why are we celebrating, drag queens? To have them with these kids. All right, you want to do something? What about a gay doctor? Or that woman, I think her name is Michelle, the one that runs Gays Against Groomers. She's a fucking attorney, a high profile attorney. or there's so many other successful people that are gay that we can represent to our kids rather than drag queens, which was adult satire comedy shows. Watch The Birdcage for homework. If you don't believe me, I'm inching closer to the camera in my microphone. But yeah, Jules, I did see that. I'm very happy for Buck that they got they were able to do that adoption. I'm very happy for him, and also congratulations to Governor Trev on being able to adopt his son. Love you, buddy. Oh, what did he say? They made us test last year about John. You wouldn't happen to have a copy of that now, would you? Because let me tell you something. Like it's like I'll ask Connor if he got a copy of that. And Kayla, we're gonna find out. Yeah, but nah, like I don't care. Like I'm like one of my best friends, Poppy. Like he was as gay as a day is long. But and I don't. He deserved to live in peace. Um, and I never judged him for being gay. I mean, I might question his sanity. I mean, he had passed away, but I would have questioned his sanity had he showed up with like a massive Grizzly Adams beard and makeup and a dress, and then said he started saying some crazy shit. Then I might question him. But the other thing is a lot. I think a lot of this crap, like that trans shooter, like it's like they're demons amongst us. We know this, like especially in this community, over everybody from Jay's community, we know that these demons are out there. And why do you think they want to choose they them? Because they're multiple personality, or is it some nod to it's kind of like they them has become the new legion, we are many. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but these demons, they are everywhere and they are hiding. Well, actually, not even hiding about it. They're loud and they're proud, and we're just not going to get used to it. We're going to tell them to, we're going to tell them where to fuck off every time. If you're going to bring, if your point of interest is bringing, focusing your argument on why it's okay that we do medical experiments on kids, you've already lost your argument, in my opinion. There it is, Gooch's link. Everybody head over there, like, subscribe to Gucci Boomer. I love that guy. You should also check out my interview with Gooch. The guy's the best. Like, and since like I see like 95% of the One Light family up in here, be sure to go back. You check out me and Jason's interview. That shit was so good. It's probably I think it's one of my best. But yeah, no, I believe that what is the point of the because they're multiple personality. Like they and them would apply that there's more than one. So I you know what, because I just stand with that. It's the new form of we are legion and we are many. So they're all, it just means that there's multiple demons inside of one. They can just identify on what circle of hell they're coming from that day. Non-binary doesn't exist. You know what? And I really, and it's like, look, this has devolved, and this is why I wanted so bad to have Charlie on the show, and I wanted to sit with him and it's why I want to sit with Buck Angel as well, because it's so important, and not to attack people in an abusive standpoint, but to educate the mind, like expand, because Buck is going to tell it straight, just like Charlie would have said it straight. But my thing is that you have a lot of these wingnut radicalized leftist maniacs that they're basically treating their gender like this is like Jurassic Park with the frog DNA that they could change between, but we're not fucking frogs, bro. We're we're not frogs. and it's not a good scenario. It's actually driving me completely crazy, to be fair. And I know this entire whatever I'm doing first rant live is gonna piss off a lot of people, but that's fine. I'm exercising my free speech. What are you gonna shoot me? But yeah, but to give the context of what we're going to establish here is me and my lovely assistant who's in the chat, Amy Powers. Me and her partnered up. We're gonna start talking about some real cold cases, crimes. We're gonna keep people. We're gonna start looking into different cases and whatnot. Um, that just there's too many of these things that get overlooked, and everybody focuses on the profile ones. But there's a lot of other ones. Me and Amy, for those that don't know, we're in the beginning stages. We're talking with the happy face serial killer. Um, Keith Jesperson. We've been talking about it. You want to talk about demons? Here you go. I just gave you a heads up, but I mean, you'll know when we know. It'll be kind of a surprise. Hey, here's the interview. But yeah, we've been working on that. We both got the books. I actually have my copy. Keith recommended we buy it. Um, no, like I'm gonna weigh in on this. I do believe that people are born whether you're gay or straight. It's the same kind of way you're hardwired to be a child predator or some other crazy shit. And that doesn't mean I'm separating gays from child predators, and every facet of society has them in there. But I think trans has just become what they call, yeah, like trans trenders is the way I've heard them called. Um, and if you look at John, I'm not with you in the chat. I'm not getting into happy face. Besides, there's a lot of moving parts of that, but it's in the works. Amy will tell you. Um, I had to take a breather thanks to the sound advice from Governor Trev. Yeah, he helped me get my mind straight because I was going too hard in that crap. But no, yeah, I think that a lot of them don't look him up. John, I'm going to prefix it and just say that, or preface it, he's a serial killer. And you're still pretty young for that kind of conversation. I mean, you're going to do what you're going to do, but my own personal advice, I advocate, don't look him up. Really, Vaz? That's what you're going to say? You think it's insane I'm talking to him? You know more about some of the people I've talked to. Look at some of the people I've had on the channel. For God's sakes. Like, some of the people that it's like you think I'm personally grateful. I feel so fucking blessed, and I feel blessed every day knowing that that I've met everybody that I have. Anthony Arlotta has become such a close friend of mine, and he's somebody I look up to. Gucci Boomer is another one. Jason Vukovic, forget about it. Like, he already knows. Um, everybody that's in this family, everybody that I met. Michelle is not here with us tonight, but Rev, Michelle, Amy, Trev, Vaz, all of you. John, you're a little young, but I'll give you a crisp high five when I see you. Don't worry, I got you a roll the bone shirt you can take. The and but I'm so grateful. Greg Scarpa, Travis Ritchie, like I've been so blessed to have met the people I have, and I'm just so grateful to have this community, and I'm grateful to Chrissy and Jules and just everybody that I met along the way. The guy, I'm not saying his name out loud. I appreciate you too, buddy. I really do. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up because I'm running out of steam. This was kind of a spirit of moment, but treat people with respect. Um, um, bro, you're just gonna be the man with no name from here on out. But yeah, treat people with respect. I mean, don't let Charlie Charlie's death. Don't let this like devolve um into more violence. It just, negative creates more negativity. It doesn't resolve it. Um what do you mean, Bats? But I haven't had a serial killer yet. It's like um I don't get what you're saying, man. You're right. I've talked to multiple serial killers. I just haven't posted anything yet. Um, but yeah, but yeah, this family, bro. Like we have to get out there and yeah, bro. You send me that stuff, Trev. Yeah, we're gonna follow. I'm gonna share this around. I want everybody to circle this around. Let's get some. Let's let this protest peacefully. Do not assault nobody. Don't hurt nobody. But also let people know that we are not gonna let Charlie. We're not gonna let Charlie get smoked like this. And you know what? He he would have kept the machine going, bro, 100%. And this machine is going to continue moving. I just, Trev, I think said it the best to me earlier. That they denied us probably arguably the greatest future president in U.S. history is what they denied us. Um, Really, it's just a sad state of affairs. Oh God, don't even get me started on non-binary. That's a whole episode in itself. But no, like, you know, go home, like, everybody go and hug your loved ones and keep them safe because and I really want you to keep Charlie's family in your prayers. Um, because I mean, I can't imagine what they're going through. Not only just losing their, her husband and their father, but also to have him brutally murdered in front of them. And I also want to say the prayers of the people that were right there when it happened. It saw the whole thing that, because that also takes a toll. They also didn't know if one of those rounds was coming for them next. You know what I'm saying? You know, Thankfully nobody else was hurt that we know of. Um, and thank God for that. You know, yeah, if anybody, yeah, and if anybody sees any type of GoFundMe or anything that any setups for his family or anything or any of his foundations. If Charlie was raising money for something, just send it to me up on Instagram and we'll get it straightened out. We'll make sure that we contribute to that as well. But yeah, if you haven't already, head over to Anthony Arlotta's Money Mayhem the Mafia. We're gonna be getting that off the ground within the next probably like few days, week or so. Well, we'll post 100%. You'll see it, and then he's gonna have all kinds of stuff detailing the history of the mafia in this area. And for those that don't know, you should go back. He was my first interview on here. He's also become a great friend of mine. But you go check out my first interview with him. He was the boss of the Genovese crime family in my area. He's also selling Pozzo wine. Uh, you're fucking up if you're not drinking Pozzo. But yeah, and like I've said it, in all my other stuff. If anybody that's struggling with like addiction or needs help with anything like that, you can always DM me. There's Woke at Crossroads. I'll make sure that my links are around. You could check out Black Poster Project that Johnny A like got us turned on to. You can also check out. I mean, for this crowd right here, you already know, but there's the Alaskan Hardcore Recovery with Jason Vukovic, or there's Hardcore Recovery with JD Delay. I'm not affiliated with any of them, but I support them. So you should check them out, when it comes down to it. But yeah, I'm gonna head the hell out of here. But it was great having this thing for our first live and treat each other with respect. I love you all. Take it easy. Bye.